Hello, this is Saad from Pitchside Pulse, and welcome back to the channel here, guys. Let me ask you something. What if I told you that the most consistent national team of the last few years isn't Brazil, isn't France, isn't Argentina, not even Spain? What if it's Morocco? From historic World Cup runs to dominating youth, women's, and futsal competitions, Morocco are no longer a surprise package. They are a system, a project, and maybe a future world champion. This is the story of Morocco's massive journey and why 2026 could be their moment. For years, Morocco were respected, admired for their talent, praised for their history, known for their passion. But respected is not feared. They showed up, they competed, they fought. Yet when the lights were brightest, when the stakes were highest, the world never expected them to win. They had players, they had pride, they had millions behind them, but on the global stage, they lacked one thing: belief. Belief that they belonged, belief that they could go further, belief that history could be rewritten. And then, something shifted. Quietly, deliberately. Not overnight, not by accident. This wasn't luck. This wasn't momentum. It was planning. It was patience. It was years of groundwork no one was watching. When belief finally arrived, it changed everything. Morocco didn't surprise the world. They announced themselves. They played without fear. They stood without doubt. They looked giants in the eye and didn't blink. And once that line was crossed, there was no turning back. This isn't a miracle run. This isn't a one-time story. This is structure. This is vision. This is identity. This is a project. Everything changed in Qatar. Morocco didn't just make history. They redefined what was possible for African and Arab football. They topped a group with Belgium and Croatia. They eliminated Spain. They knocked out Portugal, and they became the first African team ever to reach a World Cup semi-final. But here's the detail most people forget. Morocco didn't do this with chaos. They didn't rely on luck. They did it with control, with tactical discipline, with elite defensive structure, with players developed at the highest level of European football. They conceded just one goal from open play in the entire tournament. That run wasn't magic. It was preparation, meeting belief. And it wasn't the end. It was the beginning. After 2022, most people expected Morocco to cool off. Instead, they multiplied. Across almost every level of the game, Morocco kept winning, or reaching finals. U17 AFCON champions. This was the first warning. Teenagers playing with patience, discipline beyond their years. A generation that didn't look nervous because they'd been trained not to be. These weren't kids chasing dreams. They were players following a plan. U23 AFCON champions. This was confirmation. Young men on the edge of senior football, already comfortable with pressure. This tournament wasn't about talent. It was about control. And Morocco controlled everything. African Championship of Nations, CHAN winners, no European stars, no safety nets, just local players, proving that Morocco's depth runs deep. When your domestic league produces champions, your foundation is solid. Arab Cup winners, a regional stage, rivalries, history. Morocco didn't just win. They dominated. Different opponents, same outcome. Futsal AFCON champions. This matters more than people realize. Futsal sharpens decision-making, speed of thought, technical excellence. When you dominate futsal, you're shaping smarter footballers. Women's AFCON finalists, and this might be the most important of all because it shows the project isn't selective, it's inclusive. From youth to senior teams, from men's football to women's football, one identity, one philosophy. This isn't coincidence, this isn't momentum carrying over. This is what happens when a football federation builds depth instead of stars. Morocco aren't relying on one golden generation. They're building something stronger. They're producing golden layers. The backbone of Morocco's rise is something most countries ignore. Structure. At the center of it all, the Mohammed VI Football Academy, one of the best in the world. An academy built not just to develop players, but to build complete footballers. It focuses on three things: technical quality, tactical intelligence, mental strength. Because players don't just learn how to play the game, they learn how to win. At the same time, Morocco invested elsewhere, in modern stadiums, in coaching education, in sports science, in data analysis, every layer connected, every decision aligned. And then, the smartest move of all. Morocco embraced its diaspora, not partially, not hesitantly, fully. Players like Achraf Hakimi, Sofiane Amrabat, Noussair Mazraoui, Hakim Ziyech, Brahim Díaz, born abroad, raised elsewhere, but fully integrated into the national identity. No conflict, no confusion, just clarity. This isn't a streak, it's a system, and systems last. And if anyone still doubted Morocco's consistency, AFCON 2026 erased all questions. Morocco didn't just compete. They powered their way, all the way to the final. Along the way, though, they beat a strong Nigerian side, a team with stars like Osimhen and Lookman. Now, they face Sadio Mané's Senegal, a team built on physical dominance, experience, continental pedigree. This final isn't just a match. It's a statement game, a clash between Senegal's proven champions and Morocco's relentless system, win or lose. Reaching this final proves something crucial. Morocco are no longer chasing African giants. They are one. And the pressure? They've learned to thrive in it. Morocco are not flashy, and that is their strength. They are hard to break down, comfortable without the ball, dangerous in transition, mentally unshakable. Tournament football isn't about dominating possession. It's about three things: surviving bad moments, taking key chances, managing pressure. Morocco excel at all three. They don't panic. They don't collapse. They don't fear big names. And that mindset is priceless in World Cups. Now, let's talk about 2026. The World Cup will be expanded, played by a Morocco team entering its peak years, not its end, backed by a generation that already knows what World Cup pressure feels like. By 2026, their 2022 stars will be more experienced. Their youth champions will be fully integrated, their tactical identity even stronger. Most nations rebuild after a great run. Morocco reloaded. And that is the difference. They don't need miracles anymore. They need margins. Morocco's journey was never a fairy tale. Fairy tales rely on luck. This relied on planning. From a historic night in Qatar to dominance across youth, women's, and futsal football. From world-class infrastructure to a generation that learned how to suffer, adapt, and believe. Morocco didn't stumble into relevance, they built it. And now, heading into 2026, this team won't arrive hoping to surprise anyone. They'll arrive with experience, with depth, with a system that has already proven it belongs on the biggest stage. So if one day we look back and realize Morocco didn't just make another deep run, but lifted the trophy itself, it won't feel shocking. It will feel inevitable. Because this isn't a miracle in the making. It's a blueprint coming to its final stage. And when that moment comes, the question won't be, can Morocco win the World Cup? It will be, why didn't we see this coming?